One of the concerns for the Browns has to be the linebacking core. If you're a glass half full kind of guy, they're young and have a lot of potential. If you're a glass half empty kind of guy or a realist, they got a lot of guys who have never really done it for a full season in the NFL, never have been consistent for a long stretch of time in the league. New linebacker coach Jason Tarver thinks he has the guys in that room that can get it done on the field.
We do, and we have a different, with B.J. Goodson in the room, who's played at a pretty high level in the NFL and started football games for a couple different teams. We got a good mix of body types as well, and they all can run and shed and light contact. So those are some of the things that we talk about becoming our identity when we get to play.
Thanks, Coach.
Welcome.
Hey, thanks, Mary Kay. We're going to go to Scott Petrick. Scott.
Hey, Coach. When we talked to Andrew Berry and then Coach Stefanski during the draft, they were talking about the youth movement at your position. So I'm curious, taking over you're going to a new team and taking that over. Is that scary at all that there's not a whole lot of proven guys in your room?
Oh, fortunately, this is year 17 for my family and I in the NFL, and we've seen a lot of different situations. And what's cool about that is every player is unique and every player is different, and our job as a coach is to help them get better. So number one, we're excited about that opportunity to get better. With this group, you can see that one of the words used is upside or ability. So the only way to get better at playing football is actually getting reps and playing football, but you can get your bodies ready, and that's what we're working on. So we're excited about this mix because we do have a mix of body types and athletes, and we're going to see how this works, how guys are able to get in and who works best together and who takes advantage of their reps when we do get to practice. So we're excited about it, and we do think we have the pieces to run Coach Woods' scheme.
So you don't think you need to add another veteran to feel more comfortable going into camp?
Good players are good players. And so I know Andrew and Kevin are scouring all the time, and that's their job. So what we do as coaches, especially position coaches in the NFL, is we're going to give our best to each player in our room. So I stayed as solidly focused as I can on that to help our players, myself and Coach Bloom, because we coach these guys together. We focus on that. We're going to give the guys that are in our room our very best because we can't control those other things.
Browns linebacker coach Jason Tarver talking about his group, which obviously if they play well, Browns are going to have a pretty good season on the defensive side of the ball. Let's welcome Dan Lobby back in. And Dan, when you look at it, how big of a question mark is the linebacking core, and is it a huge deal?
It's probably the biggest question on the defense. The only guy we've really seen play is Mack Wilson. B.J. Goodson has gotten some opportunities, but it's not like he comes here with some big numbers or anything like that. Mack Wilson is the guy who we've seen the most, and we don't really quite know what he is yet. And you're relying on maybe Sione Takitaki. I'm intrigued by Jacob Phillips. What's interesting is there's a lot of inside linebackers outside of Takitaki. He's more of an outside kind of pass rush guy that played defensive end a little bit in college. You got a lot of inside linebackers in there. I don't think this front office necessarily values a linebacker at a real high level, but I do still think it's an important position, and they do need to find the right mix of guys in there, especially because that's the position that calls your defense. Somebody out there is going to have that green sticker, and they're going to call the defense, and that was an area where Joe Schobert was really valuable. He was sort of the quarterback of that group. Can Mack Wilson do that? Can B.J. Goodson do that? Could Jacob Phillips do that as a rookie? Those are the questions they've got to get answered.